Hey guys, it's J Davis 882 again. I want to talk about the Izula, but more specifically the Izula scales and your options. Don't forget to put it on 1080p if you want to view it in high def. Don't forget that I have a sub contest going right now. I have another video with the rules and everything. You have to be a subscriber, but you can go ahead and sub if you're not. It's going to be done by September 21st as a cutoff date, and it's going to be judged by my fiance by the 23rd. And this is what you're winning. Spyderco Paramilitary 2 Black G10. It is a used knife. I would consider it like new in box, because really all I did was take it out of the box and sharpen it. And then I got a different one, so I never really carried this one. This is the first generation of the compression lock on the Paramilitary 2, so it's not the one that freely swings. Still a really good knife. So, these are the scales that I just got. These are custom Izula scales. Not really custom, it's just limited Izula scales, I guess. They're only made by one company, Dale Stoops at The Knife Connection, also known as TKC. It's a really great place to buy your ESEE knives, and pretty much the only place you can buy these scales, these G10 scales. For your Izula, ESEE 3 and ESEE 4, I think, are the only models that utilize his scales. Dale's a great guy. He always picks up his phone, always answers his emails, ships your stuff out same day. If you plan on buying some ESEE knives and even other stuff, he's got a great selection, but he's definitely a good guy to deal with. And I'm so glad he came out with these scales. I've had this Izula for a little bit over a year. I've had both of these for a little bit over a year. I just never used this one until now. I bought these micarta scales right when I got this knife. Before I put the scales on, I did try paracord wrapping it. It just wasn't for me. It got dirty, it got loose. I was constantly trying to rewrap it, and it just wasn't all that comfortable. So I finally broke down and put these scales on, and I was more happy with it, but I wasn't 100% happy. When I grip this knife, my pinky just feels lost. I'm always searching for a place to put my pinky that's comfortable, either in the hole, through the hole, on top of my ring finger, just something that's comfortable, because I feel like there's nowhere for my pinky to go. Also, these grips, they're just kind of chunky and short, so they feel awkward in my hand. They may be great for your hand. I know I personally talked to a guy, Gundude73, great YouTuber. I was talking to him on the phone today, and he said, well, I actually wasn't on the phone with him when he said that, through text. He said that these are perfectly fine for him. I hope he doesn't mind me saying this. And that may be the case. These may be perfectly fine for you. But for me, they're just not adequate. They just feel awkward in the hand. I'm constantly searching for a comfortable way to keep it gripped, and in extended use I found that it's just uncomfortable. My hand cramps because I don't have a sure grip. So I use this knife, but it was never one of my favorite knives because of the grip. Recently, as in today, I just got these scales in, and I kind of didn't know what I was going to think about them, but I'm in love with them. I absolutely love these scales. It's the answer to every problem I had with the Izula. And the quality is just amazing. When I put these scales on, I didn't have the hardware. Had yet to put the hardware on, and the fit is so good that when you pop these in, you actually don't even need the hardware. They're just stuck there. And that's amazing. There's no liner in here that can come loose like on the micarta scales. If you get these wet, that red liner will separate. There's nothing like this. These are two just solid pieces of G10. Dale does include this hardware, which you have to use this hardware because this thickness back here, the standoff doesn't reach with the standard hardware. And it's also blacked out, so it kind of matches the knife better. Also, the colors, he has tons of colors for these things, from solid colors like khaki, black, obviously OD green, and then he has like almost bumblebee colors where there are stripes, all kind of different colors. You just got to check it out, theknifeconnection.com. These solved every problem I had with the Izula. Like I said, the Izula, with the help of these scales, is now a 4-finger knife for me. All 4 of my fingers fit on here perfectly. I'm not searching for a different grip. It's thick enough that it fills my palm and my pinky has a place to go. And this feels like a big knife now. It's still a small knife, but it feels big in my hand now, which is amazing. The distal taper right here, it's thin at the front and gets thicker in the back. It feels your hand very well. Your pinky has a sure grip back here. The rest of your hand just follows, and it's just a real intuitive grip. This thinned out portion up here, I don't know if you guys do, but a lot of times I'll be using a pinch hold up here to get things, especially if I'm using it in the kitchen or something. I'm often using a pinch hold. That thinness right there is perfect for that roll. The cost of these scales is, it leaves something to be desired. Sorry, I got tongue twisted. I paid $41 for these, and I'm pretty sure I only paid $52 for this knife. So that does kind of leave room for improvement. But I can see with the included hardware and the amount of machining that goes on with these scales, as you can see, there's no gap. So everything is fit. I hope you can see straight through there. Everything is fit together. The machining that goes into these to make them fit so snugly, it has to take a lot of time. So I kind of understand the price. Of course, us as lowly knife users, we wish it was cheaper. We always wish it was cheaper. Of course I do. I'm broke. But they are worth the money in my opinion, because it turned a mediocre knife into a great knife for me. So I think it's definitely worth the money. Definitely worth the money. It does obstruct the hole back here, which was never an issue for me. This big hole, I could take it or leave it. It never mattered to me. I actually prefer the look of this. It looks more like a traditional lanyard hole, which would be filled in with a lanyard, and then it just kind of looks like I would have hoped the knife would have looked in the first place. I think the scales were just kind of an afterthought, and these TKC scales really fix it. So like I said, this turns just kind of an okay knife into an excellent knife for me. They do weigh a good bit. They're a lot heavier than the standard micarta scales, which if you have the scales on it in the first place, I doubt you're going to be using this as a neck knife. Somebody that's using this as a neck knife will use it skeletonized with no handles, or either they'll have it paracord wrapped. So to me, the weight isn't an issue, and it's not really heavy. Don't make me sound like it's, or don't let me sound like they're super heavy. They're not. I mean, in use, it doesn't really add much weight. You don't really notice it because it is so balanced and fits your hand so well. So the weight is an issue. The cost could be an issue. If you get a chance to handle these before you buy, I would say go ahead and do it, because that thickness back there will throw some people off. And I'll just give you a comparison. To me, the thickness is really no worse back here than the whole micarta is through the whole thing. You see, I mean, some people say these are too thick, but in reality, these are thicker because they have this thickness throughout the scale, and these just get thick in the back. So to me, this taper right here makes it fit my hand so much better, while this kind of blocky feeling just left much to be desired. So I want to give you some good looks of it, give some good comparison shots, and then I'll wrap this up. Again, guys, this is Dale at The Knife Connection, Dale Stoops. Feel free to call him. He always answers his phone. Also remember that they make these for the 3 and the 4. And I hope you guys get something out of this, and I hope it wasn't just incoherent rambling, because I didn't make a script. And don't forget to enter my competition, but first you have to sub me. I hope you sub me anyway, just because you like my videos. As always, I'm open to questions, comments, criticisms, so you can leave that in the comments down below. And thanks for watching. See you next time.